What's up, everyone? Welcome to Normal America's show. I'm your host, robnoerr. Going to be on with some lefties tonight. Looks like my volume's down on my mic. Let me fix that right as we get going here. But yeah, great to see you all. I've been streaming a lot lately. Hope you enjoy it. I don't really have anything to say tonight. I don't know why I'm on this stream. I don't like streaming during the debate. I don't even know that you're allowed to stream the debate because Fox News is apparently being anal about it. Nonetheless, it's going to be through Sonsol and Wick TV. I think Big Papa Fascist and some other people are going to be there on the right. So I'm a little tired today. I've been up late streaming recently. So we'll see how long this goes. But anyways, you're going to lose me for a second. All right. I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm just waiting to get pulled into the show. Full warning, if I do stick around while the debate's going on, you're going to have to go to my Rumble channel because apparently YouTube and Twitch are going to censor people that try to do this on, whatever.
Okay. I find things like, I just take it for what it is. It's entertainment for me. I am interested in how other people have talked about the populist kind of rhetoric and how that's kind of been popular in recent years. I am interested in seeing how that shapes out, but also I just kind of want to see people get into shit with each other, Hi, Rob.
Welcome, Rob.
How's it going?
Fuck, it's
really
Rob
quick since we have
Noir.
someone jumping in. I'm just going to ask him the same question that I asked everyone when we first jumped in. Rob, welcome to the Republican primary debate mega show. We now have two conservatives on the panel. I think Andrew is going to be jumping on in about 10 minutes, so you guys won't be alone for very long. So what are you expecting to happen tonight? Who are you looking out for as like a dark horse candidate? Who are you looking out for to succeed? Who are you like rooting for? And who do you think has the most to lose?
So I think it's pretty much worthless because Trump's not there, and I'd say there's a 95% chance Trump will be the nominee. So what it is it's jockeying for positions with donors, like people like Chris Christie that don't have a chance, that's going after that neocon dollar. And then you're going to have people like Vivek that's smartly realizing that this isn't his time, but he's positioning himself to be sort of a front runner in the MAGA movement. Going forward, whether it be in elections or just culturally. I think it'll be interesting to see how like DeSantis tries to thread the needle to try to get that MAGA spirit, but also tell his corporate donors, like, I'm not unhinged or anything like that. But ultimately, yeah, I don't expect much from it. I don't think that there'll be anything shocking that comes from it. You'll see people like Pence and Christie. Pence will be more or even killed, but he'll go after Trump. Christie will be really foaming at the mouth to get Trump. So I don't know. For me, it's like I see all these stories breaking of corruption and shit like that. I'm a single issue voter. I haven't decided who I'm going to vote for in the primary. I will say Vivek has been talking the best game, but I'm not sure that I trust him. But whoever tells me the most about how they're going to disband the FBI and these other agencies and criminally charge the people that are in task of them that are engaged in this corruption, that's who I would support. So I guess we'll see how
is that your single issue?
Well,
yes, corruption's my single issue. Yeah.
And that's well known from Rob. Andrew, it's the same question for you. I don't know if you heard that question. Oh, you are muted, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not muted now.
Okay. I don't know if you heard the question, but basically,
no, I just got here. I don't know what any of you fucking degens are doing yet. So
gotcha.
Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so every time someone jumps on, I'm just going to ask them the same question. What are you expecting from the debate tonight? Who are you pulling for? Who do you think is going to do the best? Who do you think could be a dark horse candidate that comes up because of this debate? Yeah.
None of them.
Also, who do you think has the most to lose on the debate stage tonight?
Well, DeSantis has the most to lose. So DeSantis is the second runner. So it's already been leaked, the internal memos, that they're going to be going pretty hard at DeSantis, jockeying for position. Trump himself not being on the debate stage might be the best thing that he could have done. But none of them are Trump. And so none of them are worth a shit. Nothing's going to get accomplished during this debate except a very pissed off electorate because they want Trump. They don't care about any of these goons. They're totally worthless. Nobody's going to win tonight's debate.
You don't
Nobody.
think there's anything that can be said or done by any of these gentlemen or ladies, I guess Nikki Haley's there as well, to kind of win people from Trump? Or do you think Trump's just got it on lock?
No, the first person who attacks Trump loses. The first person who embraces Trump is going to have a good night. Anybody who embraces Donald Trump tonight or defends Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form is going to do very well. The people who don't do that, they're going to not do very well. This is still Trump's game. It's going to stay Trump's game. That's what people want, and that's what they have wanted for a long time. They don't give a shit about Chris Christie and the rest of these dinosaurs who've drugged their sorry asses up on stage time and time again and been drubbed off of it. We don't want anything to do with these clowns. They're worthless.
And just as a quick caveat to everyone, or a quick disclaimer, because we have two very strong personalities on the right here, this will inevitably turn into like a hardcore debate shouting match. That's not exactly the vibe that we're going for tonight. We'll let you guys go at it a little bit, but we're going to be asking a lot of questions.
Who cares? Ignore Sanzel. We can do whatever we want.
You can't ignore me because I have the privilege to mute people, motherfucker. All right, and I am very, very, very privileged to use it on you, Andrew.
You mute me once, I'm out of here. You fucking degen.
Okay.
Yeah, you mute him, I'm out of here, and I'm probably more
Yeah,
left
you
than
mute.
the-
That's right.
If he leaves,
Okay,
I'm
like, fuck that shit.
And if he leaves, then all of us leave. So go ahead, try your luck,
It was
Sanzel.
He's unionized.
Exactly. This is wow. This is very leftist of you to do collective bargaining. Surprising, but
I mean, well, if we're
actually
gonna do
for
like the
it.
whole
Shut
like
up,
we're all
dork.
gonna be here trying to have conversations.
Don't start the unions are fundamentally capitalist argument with me, okay? Because they are.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Guys.
I guess I would ask, do the rest of you agree with these assessments, right? So we got 3 conservative personalities on here. Jeb was singing a different tune earlier, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, partially. I think BPF is right in the sense that it's Trump's game right now. Everything we've talked about is an eventuality if Trump drops out. I think that's more likely than I would say Rob or BPF think. But it's still Trump's game, and he's 100% right. If you come in like Chris Christie's probably gonna and just attack Trump, you're gonna lose this debate because nobody gives a fuck what you have to say about Trump. The courts are already saying bad things about Trump, and they're not gonna care about any of it until it somehow disqualifies him from running or gets him to drop out. So attacking Trump is by far the worst thing you could do in this debate. I just disagree that there's nothing coming from this debate because, again, the eventuality that Trump might drop out, it's, you can think it's a low percentage chance, but it's not a no percentage chance. So there is a lot of important things that are going to go down in this debate in terms of if he drops out, who becomes the front runner, and 2, if he doesn't drop out, who's that VP spot going to? Because if somehow the other even smaller eventuality is he somehow gets imprisoned but is also the president, the VP is going to be pulling a lot of weight, and we're going to want to know who that's going to be. And it's not going to be Pence.
Is tonight then just like a run for VP then? Like basically,
or it's a run for VP and a preservation run for front runner for Ron DeSantis. That's why I agree he does have the most to lose here.
That's not true. It's not a run for VP. If we assume that Trump's going to be the nominee, Trump ain't going to give a shit how anyone does in this debate. It's going to be how they're talking to him behind the scenes. That's what's going to matter. It more importantly is what I said. This debate's basically not for us. Jeb, some of what you say I agree with, but the issues of Trump are still going to be the most important issues to over 50% of the Republican base. So even if you would say, well, as someone who doesn't care about Trump, I want to hear what they have to say on tax cuts and shit like that, that won't win the primary. That's not going to do it. Even when it comes to Trump not being here, the things people are going to be concerned about is look at the double standard of the treatment of Trump. Look at how corrupt Biden is. No one's going to be interested in a substantial way in like, oh, but I was really interested in your nuanced position on like what you were going to do about X, Y, or Z. That's going to be less important.
The reason I disagree is those votes are captured. if Trump were to drop out, which is what gives any of these people a chance to be a front runner, whoever he tells them to vote for, those votes are going to vote for it. That's why they should focus on issues not relating to Trump, because the ones that only care about Trump are just going to vote for whoever fucking Trump says to vote for. So the voters they're actually fighting for here are the voters that aren't just worried about Trump. Like, I think you are in a minority in terms of, well, you're not in a minority in terms of Trump voters who really like Trump and their biggest issue are three-letter agencies and corruption and all that shit. Sure. But they're just going to vote for whoever Trump tells them to. As far as the rest of Republican voters, a lot of them just give a fuck about, why is the media telling me the economy is so great and all my friends are getting laid off?
Well, none of them are going
Why
to.
can't I afford gas or groceries?
None
Those
of them
types
are going to stand out unless they hit on the key issues that the conservative base actually cares about, specifically the Christian conservative base. They want to see an anti-trans campaign. They want to see an anti-LGBTQ campaign. They want to see people who are pushing back against the degeneracy nationally. You're not going to see any of that on the Republican debate stage tonight. You're going to see them try to give kind of expansionary definitions for their big tent republicanism. Nobody wants anything to do with that, so they'll push back towards populism. This is the way that this always works. That's why Trump was popular to begin with, is because he pushed back on illegal immigration. That was his big thing.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
not.
the
and
red
let me.
stat the polling's not showing that. Every time Ron harps on
Yeah, the
LGBTQ
polls didn't
plus
show that.
shit,
The polls
his
didn't show
get
that Trump
lower.
was going to fucking absolutely drub everybody either, but he did.
I think
But the polls generally tracked well in terms of momentum.
Yeah.
When he was doing well in debates, his polls were going up, and when he was doing things that were foolhardy, they were going down. And when Ron DeSantis harps hard on the LGBTQ shit, his polls go down.
People don't care that much about that. The majority of people, or at least some slim majority of people, don't care that much about that culture war shit. I know that you do. I actually would like to ask, because I'm curious. The conservatives here, although I guess like Rob, we already know that you like Trump, but like and Vivek, because you said, but what about you, like Andrew and Jebtan? Which candidates do you support, or who is
I don't
your
like any
ideal
of them.
candidate?
They're fucking worthless, and I want Donald J. Trump to be the president of the United States. Unless one of these people comes out as an anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ advocate and really starts pushing back against the fucking Fruit Loops who are running around all over the streets, I have no
Trump done
fucking
that?
use for them.
You don't
Wouldn't
think
that be
DeSantis
Vivek?
has done that?
Yeah, hold on.
Or Vivek?
Only one person
Yeah.
at a time. Do you not think that Ron DeSantis has been doing that in his state of Florida?
I think that he's going to do the same big tent republicanism that you see all of them do, because they can't seem to help themselves. They have dumbass, retarded pollsters who are run by people like you, academics, who don't have their ear to the main street, and they go by polling, right? The polls say that people like the gays. They don't. Sorry,
hold
they
on.
don't.
Just hold on.
Maybe not in your
Hold on,
world.
hold on.
Wait,
Yeah.
real quick. A lot of people are wanting to get in. A lot of people are wanting to get in on this, and we got to get some room to some other people. So I know Rezi was trying to jump in there, and I want to hear from Rezi. Flowtrace, start us. Go ahead.
And after that three, I do have something to bring up.
Okay, cool. So I first want to say I am actually interested in seeing if there's eventually Trump's going to die, right? Like we all admit, like he's not.
I'm not
immortal,
conceding
right?
that. I'm not conceding that. No.
Okay, but like I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Source.
anytime
Fucking
soon.
time machine
Event-
guy.
Yeah, well, eventually he's going to die. Like that's the natural progression of things, right? I'm actually interested in seeing what the post-Trump Republican Party looks like, and I think that this debate could actually be a good frame for that, especially with like somebody like Tim Scott in here, somebody who gave the first anti-Biden State of the Union debate and everything like that. I think that's like something that also could be interesting to find from today, other than just the otherwise hijinks. I actually want to ask Andrew, do you think that it's going to be a lot of policy like framing? I feel like tonight is going to be much more.
It's going to be purely rhetoric based and jockeying for position.
Oh,
that's
I thought
going to be that's going to be the entirety of the night. But again, it's a game of chess. So, who embraces Trump first wins. Who pushes the most Trump-esque policies but can make them even slightly more extreme wins the hardest. So that's who you're going to see as the winner.
And I guess like this is like my question to that is I think that Chris Christie has been largely running an anti-Trump campaign.
Yeah, he's been largely something.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Hate
I mean,
fat
that's
people.
how it's always been. Hey, dude, we're in the Northeast. All right, he's Catholic. You know, we know how to cook. It is what it is. So the thing is,
Well, I don't know if you know how to cook, but he knows how to eat. I can tell you that.
I mean, it's one or the other. But anyways, I think that Christie, his entire campaign is formatted on that. I do think that there is going to be some sort of exacerbation where either A, we're going to see, again, like you're further to the right people attacking Christie, and then you're going to see everybody else attacking the leaders of the pack within DeSantis and Ramaswamy. And I'm more interested. I don't think that today is going to be I don't really think today is going to be largely a positions debate. I think it's going to be more of an attack dog debate.
Listen, I'll just reiterate real quick. I'll be very brief. Like this debate isn't about vice presidents or anything about that. It's about the donors. It's about setting yourself up for the future, and it's about the donor. Chris Christie doesn't have a prayer. Mike Pence doesn't have a prayer. Tim Scott doesn't have a prayer. What it is about is pleasing the people that will be funneling money after Trump and after the MAGA movement that are going to be trying to steer the direction of the Republican Party.
Those are populists. Those are populists.
That's where I hope it goes.
And those are populists and independent millionaires and independent billionaires and corporate interests, this kind of thing, who are going to be steering into that. They don't want Pence. They don't want any of these people. Populism is where it's at. That's what we need, is more populist candidates. That's why people loved and adored Trump and still do to this day. We don't want these fucking dirty Democrats to get away with any of this bullshit. So hopefully we see some pushback on that. But I really think that this is going to be a debate all about Donald Trump, like it or not.
I think the jockeying.
Room, if you will. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the jockeying is going to be a big part of it, but I think less than I think it's not going to be nearly as much about jockeying for donors. It's going to be a lot more, I think, about jockeying for your position in the Republican Party, not just with the voters, but giving yourself as a prospective person for Trump to endorse. I think Jeb is right. The likelihood that Trump drops out is low, but it's not zero. And I think a lot of I think DeSantis in particular is really hoping that something turns around this legal case that leads to Trump withdrawing or being forced to withdraw from the campaign, and he ends up as the default choice. So I think when we're talking about jockeying, you also have to keep that in mind. These people want to be the next person after Trump.
I don't think DeSantis is going to say a bad word about Trump. I think he's going to endorse Trump era policies, say that Trump is fucking based and awesome. Yep. I hope that he outlines an anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ platform that'll really help mobilize the base. We know that the base wants this in the worst way. We saw what happened with the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. Christians have finally started to push back. They're very politically interested right now. Now's the time to pander to them. And hopefully that's what we see out of DeSantis. It's his debate to lose. And he's the guy with the most to lose. He's always been the guy with the most to lose in this debate. So they're all going to shark attack this guy. And I think that he's going to probably have a poor night, because if he concedes on any point that's anti-Trump or gets caught up or tangled up on any of those points, he's screwed.
And it's in a difficult spot, because what DeSantis has to try to thread the needle is there are a lot of people. You have to understand, the old guard Republican Party is not stupid. They know that populism is where it's at, right? So they're trying to rein it in. They want someone who could capture enough of that populism, but still have someone that they could influence with their, old guard money and, influence and stuff like that. So DeSantis, if he wanted to just be as effective as possible to win as many votes and wasn't worried about donors and stuff, I could give you DeSantis's debate right now. Look, I know me and my team have said things about Trump that it's sort of a back and forth, but that's okay. That's what politics is about. But seeing the abject disaster that is the authoritarianism that's trying to take him down right now, I stand with him. I think it's ridiculous. We will do everything we can to end this corruption and stop this weaponization of our governments. I think that Trump wasn't perfect and he made some mistakes, but I think his heart was in the right place and he should be applauded. Let's go after this corruption. Now let me tell you how I'm going to beat the LGBT people in Florida. That's it. That would be that'd be perfect for him.
And get rid of the immigrants.
I want to make sure Stardust has her turn.
Oh yeah, Stardust. Yeah.
Stardust.
You know what? Never mind. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Best thing I've ever heard Stardust say.
That's some some great chauvinism right there.
All right, I'm going to share my screen really quick. I'm going to share my Yeah. No, let me do this really quick. Let me do this.
When you're out ready to show the debate, let me know, because I got to pop off and then switch over to Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. So right now, So right now, I have a tweet up on sharing my screen. It is Donald Trump right now tweeting. Well, about 20 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, tweeting out about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis praised Anthony Fauci for COVID response in spring 2020 for doing really good job. Do you guys think that this will have any effect on the debate? Do you think that this will be brought up? And does this change either Andrew or Rob's opinion on what was going to happen?
Better lower his head, shut his mouth, and agree. That's what he better do. He better say, "Yeah, I made some mistakes," and kiss Trump's ass. That's what he better do.
See, I'm not totally
his whole mission.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with that. I think that I've criticized the hell out of Trump, and I still do. I think that Trump supported lockdowns. I was volunteering for Trump's campaign. I was offered a job by them in March of 2020. It was a low-paying job. I said no, and within 3 days, every video I was doing contemporaneously was criticizing Trump for fucking paying lip service to lockdowns. And I was saying at the time it was going to cost him the election because in addition to how they would change voting because of it, it would crash the economy, which he would then be blamed on, which was exactly right. That's what happened. So I understand that they're going to go back and forth at each other over this stuff. I'm willing to listen to Fauci say horse shit. You know, Trump's the one that was there with Fauci. I'm willing to listen to it. The problem is, I believe that at this point, and I could be wrong, I'll admit that. Maybe DeSantis is looking at different polling than me, but I believe that it's Trump's got it in the bag, unless he keels over or he voluntarily gets out. So at this point, I think DeSantis has to recalibrate, right? He has to be like, listen, he could maybe phrase it like this. He could be like, look, Trump kind of paid lip service too. I was duped, to some extent, but I was the best governor in this country when it came to finally realizing this was horseshit and blah, blah, blah. And I think Trump also realized that at some point as well. So you could spin that to be like, yeah, I see he's attacking me on this, but really we're kindred spirits on the issue.
Yeah, the whole thing is going to be astroturfed anyway. So the entirety of the history of what happened with the lockdowns, Trump's going to astroturf all of that, and his voters don't give a shit, right? They're like, okay, we're just going to see past it because they want enough of his other policies, and they're hoping that he goes back into office as yet again a hand grenade, which can be thrown in to completely mess up and fuck up the entire political establishment. That's the whole point. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about the rest of this. They don't care. That's not what they're there for. They're there because they want Trump to be a hand grenade and mess shit up as much as possible. That's what they voted for him the first time to do.
Two things before we move on. One, a question for the panel, and that is something I just forgot. So let me get to the second thing. Okay,
the lefties are killing it tonight.
I know, it's crazy. You're just blowing my mind with all these base takes, if you will. Well, no, thank you for reminding me. So Fox News Spin Room. Okay, the spin room or
spin zone
denied access to Trump surrogates tonight. Is that a good move for Fox? What do we think?
Fox, it's good for me for Fox because I hope they make people hate them more, and that seems like a move that might gear towards that. I think that Trump. Listen, I'll be real brief with this. Trump should have participated in this debate because I like debates and I'm willing to listen to people. The debate always should have been this entire time DeSantis saying no, Trump won't take down the system because he was there and failed, and Trump saying but DeSantis is surrounding himself with sort of old guard people so he would fail, and now I'm pissed because they've came after me. That should have been the entire campaign. It's been a fuck up on DeSantis's part largely, so I don't think that it's broke down that way. Trump should have not did this debate strategically if he wanted. I still think he should have done it, but strategically he should have said, I'm not doing it because it's Fox. Fuck them. I'm going to Tucker. They fired Tucker. I'm going to go to Tucker. Fox is horseshit. They're a bunch of neocons. Fuck them. So, I don't care what Fox does. They're going to be, trust me, they're going to be sensationalist. All of their questions are going to be geared towards Trump because they know that's what would get ratings. So it's going to be tons of shit. But Trump said this. And what do you think about Trump being locked up? And when Trump said this about you, that's what it'll be.
Okay. Rezi, you had your Jeb Tan, then Rezi.
It was a smart decision. You don't let someone not show up to your debates, but then you allow them to have, like you said, surrogates, political surrogates who are going to basically parrot for him or be there to help nudge the conversation his direction. You don't want them having access to a debate because you basically allow someone to both be there and not be there. It makes no sense.
I disagree.
Yeah, I think it's actually really interesting seeing how Fox News is moving with a lot of this, especially considering that they have been taking a lot of funds actually from the Biden campaign to run ads on a lot of the online coverage that they have of this debate. I don't know if Fox themselves are simply turning against them. We know that Rupert Murdoch is not necessarily fond of Trump. So as that media conglomerate exists, I actually think it's interesting that they're not going to have any surrogates on at all. I think it's actually a bad move for them, but I can understand them doing it because at the end of the day, Murdoch is a spiteful bitch, and he always will be.
I mean, it doesn't. Why would you have people on whose sole goal of being on is going to be to talk about all the reasons someone decided not to show up?
Well,
You're literally just saying,
well,
"Hey,
let me
let's
ask
throw
you,
this
Jeb-
party,
Ratings.
and then let's put the camera on
Ratings.
people
Right.
who are just here to talk about how much this party sucks."
But Jeb, what's the reason that they're doing it? Ratings? You've already said, right? That's the main reason they're doing this. What would be the other utilitarian?
No, I mean,
yeah,
that's
the
not
other
what I said,
reason
that's
would
what
be
you said.
right. The other reason, it's not a game necessarily. We're not treating this like, well, if your star player didn't show up, he's not allowed to show up in the second half. It's not like that shit, right? So the argument would be, well, we're just trying to inform the people about the issues. Given that me, you, everyone on this panel, and Fox knows that Trump is likely to be the nominee, it's stupid to not have someone on there that's an official representative of them, even if Trump didn't care. Who gives a fuck about fairness? That's stupid. It's not a
No,
game.
but they're not. The issue is it's not like an official representative of Trump. Trump, if he wanted an official representative of Trump, Trump could show up and not debate. There's nothing barring him from entering the building.
He doesn't
Well, he
want.
has
he's-
nothing,
would-
but he has
all
nothing
you would-
to lose. Trump has
all it
nothing to
would-
lose by going to
Okay.
this clown show. What does he care?
Well,
Why does he care?
yes,
He has nothing
if
to
I
lose.
may,
So why invite surrogates to do nothing but detract from the conversation happening on stage, which is the point of your broadcast?
Ratings is the point of the broadcast, and it would bring more ratings. And second, because it would be the most likely defense of the person who will likely be the nominee.
I think
So if I may, really quick, Jeb, really quick. Yeah, really quick. I would say I think that Trump does have something to lose if he were to go onto the debate stage, which is why it's a smart move for him to not go onto the debate
That's
stage.
why he didn't
What
go.
is
If he would lose.
Yeah.
His
Why
record
just-
is
Oh, that's
like
terrible.
in the same
No,
well, hold on, really quick. In the same way that like Joe Biden isn't going to be holding or going to be participating in any debate that's going on with the Democrats, right? People said that you should be debating RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson. Why the fuck would he? He's the fucking incumbent. All he's going to get out of going into those debates is attacked. That's all he's going to get. Right? In the same way, Trump is the front runner.
Stop
He's
raising
going to
your
be
fucking hand. It's annoying. You're man. Just talk.
no.
Just
We
talk,
want people
dude.
to we want people to raise their hand. But like
kind of bitch
Trump
shit
goes
is
up
that?
there. Trump goes up there, and he has Chris Christie attacking him. He has possibly Asa Hutchinson attacking him. Right? That sort of thing could actually cause something to happen negatively for Trump, or some sort of gaffe that he has up on stage. Right? So that's the sort of thing that I would say that Trump is.
Well, you're not-
And when it comes to the questions, and like this will be very quick. When it comes to the questions, the reason why I would expect most of these things to be about Trump is because fuck, what does every single conservative have on the mind right now? What is every single conservative paying attention to the most? It's going to be all about Trump. Now, love it or hate it, that's what the conversation's going to be revolving around mostly. That's what I would speculate.
Well, you're not
Trump.
wrong, Santo.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's not that Trump knows he would lose the debate. It's just
Oh,
that,
it's not
like,
that he knows, it's a
right.
possibility.
It's like, why not throw the Hail Mary when you're up 20 points? Well, because it could only harm you. If you just kneel the ball, you're going to win. I don't give a shit about all that personally. As someone who wants to hear them fucking have a knockdown, drag out battle and pick the person that I think's best, I think Trump should have showed up. And as someone who's an excellent fucking debater myself, even if I was as ahead of Trump as Trump is, I would still go to the debate because I know I would crush everyone, so it would be absolutely fine. But I understand strategically why Trump's not doing it. I'm just pushing back against Jeb Tan is you have to think, like, Jeb Tan's looking at it like this. Well, if you're Fox and you offer for Trump to come and he doesn't come, then you're not going to allow his surrogates. But that's stupid for two reasons. Because one, the primary reason that they're having this debate is ratings, and so having a Trump surrogate on there would bring more ratings. And second, if there's any other utility, it's that because you want people to know, well, what if Trump said, seeing as how he is overwhelmingly likely to be the nominee. So why wouldn't you have a surrogate on afterwards to say, well, this wouldn't jive with Trump's worldview because of X? It has nothing to do
Real
with
quick,
fairness.
when y'all say that it's Trump surrogates, because I haven't heard this, Trump surrogates have been banned from Fox News after this.
No, not
what are
banned
we
from
talking
Fox
about?
News.
They're
They
not
just
going
can't come on.
Yeah,
for
for the after debate
stuff.
spin room that they have, right, where people get to talk about it and things. Usually campaigns have surrogates on to kind of spin things in their way and say, well, actually, my candidate did the best because of X, Y, and Z. Trump is not allowed to have surrogates on there. So it's not banned from Fox. It's just banned from the specific
Yeah,
thing.
because the point of the
Okay, I
surrogates
understand.
are to represent a spin for people who fucking debated. That's why. That is why you don't have surrogates for people who didn't come into the debate in the spin room.
It's
after.
stupid. It's stupid. Fox is doing a disservice to themselves for ratings and for the people.
No, it doesn't increase ratings.
Yes, it
because
will.
Okay, let me ask a question because I don't know much about
Any
this.
future debates,
Yes, it
and
would.
so why would you risk later ratings by showing Trump? We're going to give you the same treatment as somebody who came to the debates, even if you don't, and basically give him even less of a reason to ever show up to another debate.
Why is
Okay,
Fox
I
give a
don't know
shit
a
if
lot
he
about
goes to a
this. Let me
CNN
ask-
debate?
That's gonna
I'm going to
The
ask a
only
quick
debate that's
question,
gonna
and now I'll
happen
throw it
with-
to Rez.
cool.
Yeah, I'll throw it right back to you,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
after I'm finished with this
That's
question. Sorry.
just
So
had
is
time.
the surrogates not being allowed on is like an equivalent, like you have a like the Seahawks versus the Lions, right? And then the after the post show, people start talking about the Redskins. Is that what we're talking about, or
Yes.
is this like okay?
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's a good
Responsible for
analogy.
The Washington Commanders now.
Yeah, the point
Oh,
of
shit,
the,
yeah, that's
hey,
right.
they might be the Redskins
Racist.
soon again. No, but the point of the spin room is you have people argue who are surrogates for the people who debated, and they try to argue how their candidate won. So yes, it's a great analogy. It's like letting a third team in a football game that didn't play in that football game come in and talk about, have some Kansas City Chiefs surrogate come in and say, well, y'all both know you would have gotten your asses whooped by the Chiefs. It's like, cool. Even if we did, again, it's not going to improve ratings because it doesn't add anything to the
It's
conversation.
not true.
Gotcha. Okay,
It's-
one
it's
second. Let's
stupid.
throw it to Rez really quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say honestly, I think Fox News is doing Trump a service by actually not letting these surrogates on in the first place. This debate has no legitimacy. There's literally no value to it other than ratings, and to pretend like it's anything other than another money-making mission by the largest news corporation in America is absolutely just dog-brained.
I mean, that's every debate. Every debate. The only reason we have private news outlets cover any debates or host any debates is because they want to make money off them.
Well, yeah, but
Otherwise,
like
we would
the
have to fund it publicly.
RNC approved this debate, and that's like part of like how these parties approve debates.
I
the only
almost-
thing that's gonna
Yeah,
hurt
Stardust
is
after
come
Rez.
general. Yeah, the only thing that's going to hurt is come general. Yeah, Trump's going to have to debate Biden again. That's about it, and that's
Is
just
he?
what it's going to be.
No,
Yeah,
is
he
he going to have to
Unless
debate
he
Biden?
decides
Biden?
not
I mean,
to.
it is
Hold on.
Trump. He can do
Let's
whatever
let
he
Stars
wants.
go, yeah.
It is Trump. He can do whatever he wants, and he's done whatever he wants before. And if he's skipping this debate, I don't see what's stopping him from skipping anything else. But I almost wonder if Fox is doing this on purpose, right? To like drive to drive people to see Trump, because Trump is the easier one to see right now. You don't need a subscription. You don't need an account, right?
Fox doesn't
I
like
don't know.
Trump. They're not trying to
Yeah, well,
benefit
they-
Trump through this.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
they would be
definitely
pushing people off platform because Tucker's not with Trump anymore. Trump is specifically going to somebody who is not a Fox.
the guy that's going to take
Subsidiary.
ratings from Fox. And just to go back to this analogy, although it's weird that this has become the central point of this pre-show, but to go back to the analogy, let's say that it's the Lions and the Seahawks playing, and whoever wins the game will be playing the Vikings in the championship game. Would it make sense after the game to have someone from the Vikings there? Yep, it would. People would tune in for that, to hear the Vikings star quarterback be like, fuck these two losers, we're going to tear them up, they sucked ass in that game. Yes, people would tune in, and it would be relevant, because the problem is no one really gives a shit about analyzing their own debate. What they give a shit is, okay, now that the debate's over, what does that say about the landscape of the Republican primary? And so for both ratings reasons, because people would tune in, more people would tune in if one of Trump's surrogates there, because they know that it's going to be entertaining, and they know that he's going to be bringing the heat, or she, whoever it would happen to be. And it would also make sense to give a more overall picture of the accurate landscape of what the debate meant for the landscape going to the future.
But as you
Okay,
guys said,
think-
the only thing they would be there to say is this debate means nothing to the landscape because Trump is just going to be the
Fair
winner.
enough.
'cause he
Fair
didn't
enough.
show up to
Okay.
the debate.
Okay. Let me interject here because we are coming up in about less than 20 minutes now. The actual debate's going to start. So I know all of you are talky. All of you are super long-winded, and you don't know when to shut up. And so I'm going to give you a lot of time to have a closing statement, closing thoughts on this, and then most of you we're going to shuffle off. And we're going to keep Andrew here, and we're going to keep Rob here, and we're going to have a watch party. So for those of you who are watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, get those Kick accounts ready because we're going to be transferring to Kick soon. I'll let you know when. We'll spam those links in chat, etc., etc. But for now, that's what's going to go on. That's what we're going to have. So we're going to start with Tom. We're going to work our way around. final thoughts on what you're looking for tonight, what you think's going to happen, and any results you might think come out.
Yeah, again, I'm looking for the polling after this to see kind of where Republicans' heads are at, if they're really moving towards populism, or if it's more of just like what people think is like the Trump cultist, where he just says this is the way it is, they all go with that, and then once he's gone, they all kind of go back to normal neoconic sorts of ideologies. I'm mostly looking at, people like DeSantis and Christie to see if they're actually able to make any headway here. I feel like DeSantis after this is probably going to be completely done. I think he's going to get wrecked. He's been a complete train wreck throughout his entire campaign so far. He's out of money. He's he's doing embarrassing things left and right, and most of his campaign has been a bunch of culture wars stuff. So I think that he's probably screwed if he gets run over by some of the other candidates in this. And I do think that for the most part, everybody else has been talking to Trump behind the scenes, asking permission to run, and then they all have their own sweetheart deals behind the scenes where they're capable of getting some sort of position based on how well they do in these debates and how well they're polling after these. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Victard, what do you got?
I'm just excited for the whole vibe check of the debate, all the memes that are come out of it. The Republican Party's in such like a weird place right now, where they have like no actual policy, and they seem to be chasing gay boogeymen around, thinking that their kids are going to be converted by proselytization, which is just, it's silly. So I think that it's only going to get worse for them the more they engage in this populist thing, and I'm enjoying the ride. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah,
thanks for being here. Rezi, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that this debate is largely a farce, though I am interested in seeing what some of the candidates are, because I do want to look at the post-Trump Republican Party. Twitch, Resver on all platforms. And I have one last question. Victard, where was the jewel, by the way?
The jewel?
Oh yeah, earlier we heard you asking where your jewel was.
Oh, who knows? So they're always somewhere.
The gay boogeyman brought it to him.
Yeah, there you go.
I am the gay boogeyman. Anyways, thank you guys for having me. You all have a great day.
Thanks for your contributions. Always a pleasure, my friend. Rob, we're gonna skip you because you're gonna stay, right? You're not going anywhere. Stardust, what you got?
Hey, I'm Stardust. Thanks for having me. You can check out. I did an interview with Trump first before Tucker Carlson did, so you can check that out. It's on Twitter. I'm probably gonna watch Tucker Carlson's interview with Trump. So if you're into that, come check me out. Twitch.tv/Stardust or YouTube.com/Stardust streams. And yeah, I know I've been gone for a while. I had a family emergency, so I'm back now. So I'll be here every day. So see you guys.
Welcome back.
I hope things worked out with that. I hope it's all good, and welcome back. Thanks for being here. Shaved SDA, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Shaved Dog's Ass, also commonly known as SDA, because nobody wants to say that long-ass name. I typically describe myself as of current an anarcho-absurdist. I typically oppose centralized governments. From this debate, mainly looking for entertainment. I think that we've already said it all. Chris Christie is the Japanese Navy about to torpedo Donald Trump's Black Fleet, or is going to attempt to, if they have the same outcome or not. I think that Ron DeSantis is just going to repeat a bunch of practice lines attacking Vivek. Vivek, if he can survive this, is going to be the second runner, I guess, behind Trump. And I think if anybody is going to have a surprisingly good night, it's going to be Pence or Haley, just for reasons of, like, they don't have a lot to be attacked on, and they're not super up in the front, so nobody's focusing on them. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at DogsShaved. Everything else is linked there. If I stream anywhere else at any time, you'll be able to tell. Thank you for having me on, Wick and Son.
Thank you for being here.
I'll be here in the after show as well.
Okay, we'll see you later, buddy. Bye-bye. Glinda, go ahead.
Okay. Tonight I think I mean, as like a liberal or whatever, I am watching this for entertainment, but also I'm kind of curious about whether or not we'll see any stolen election memes, and also to see everyone jump on Vivek for his dogshit foreign policy takes, and like whether DeSantis is probably going to crash and burn. This is largely pointless, so I think Trump is probably going to win unless something happens that we're not anticipating. I mean, I think it'll be very entertaining, but probably not much else. I don't know if this will actually impact or have any meaningful impact on anything. Maybe it might hurt DeSantis more, but I guess like we'll see what happens. And y'all can find me. I am Kalinda, KALIINDA, like on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. I do not have, or I'm on Twitter, but it's like different. But it's the Twitter is linked there, and yeah. Sometimes I stream infrequently. I might start more frequently. I like to talk about history, and like political stuff. So yeah, and I'll be in the after show as well. Have a good night, guys.
Have a great night. Thank you again for coming. Really appreciate you.
Bye.
Trace, what you got?
Let's be real. Trump only loses if he pulls out. And it's not likely, but if there was one lesson to take from the last Republican primary, it's that anything can happen. The reality is that tonight, the biggest question is going to be, is DeSantis going to stem the bleeding? He's been on a horrible downward spiral for months now. Ideally for him, this is going to be back in sort of his wheelhouse, aggressive back and forths in short form over and over again. If he can do that and he can smack down Vivek, he can maintain his status as the obvious number 2 pick, then maybe Trump pulls out, Trump is forced out, and he becomes a default nominee. That's the only thing of consequence to watch tonight, and it's going to be what I'm going to be focusing all my attention on.
Trace, always a pleasure. Thank you.
You too, buddy.
And we will see you later. Bye-bye, buddy.
Much love.
Jeptan.
Yeah, so I don't understand where all these DeSantis, I think it's a leftist phenomenon. The DeSantis is just going to get crushed. This is the end of his campaign bullshit. There's nothing for these other candidates to stick him on. They've done nothing. Any attack they would have on DeSantis, he can simply retort with, "What have you done about that?" He could even do that to Trump, and I think that's why it was really a good idea for Trump not to debate here, because I don't think something people are noticing is, like PPF said, I want someone who's going to go after the gays and the trans and the degenerates. Trump did 0 things to do that. And DeSantis is already in the past
No, he went
year,
after the immigrants.
He's done more in the past year to go after those degenerates, as you say, than Trump did in his entire presidential campaign. And there's no reason to say that once he has federal power, he would be able to do the same thing, or he wouldn't be able to do the same thing for the immigrants. So DeSantis has the easiest road here, but he also does have the most to lose. He could fumble the bag. Don't think he will. I think the most likely thing to happen in terms of him getting a chance to be the president is, I genuinely think if Trump does get convicted, and I don't think he will run from prison. I think he will get convicted. He'll see how the poll numbers drop. He'll see the writing on the wall, and he'll try to endorse a winner who is going to give him the best chance of recovering his image to then run again. But I think that'll be Ron DeSantis, because I don't see where he could get slammed tonight, unless he is just absolutely buffoonish and doesn't remember basic fact points about his own record as a governor.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, Jeb10. Really appreciate your perspective. Gang, at this point in time, what we're going to do is we're going to transition to Kick. I'll send you off to someone and raid into someone right now.
All right.
On
well,
Twitch,
I'm going to hop back on the stream in a few minutes. All right.
Yeah, can I do that as well? I'll be in your backstage.
So excuse us with the transition time here. So yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sansol.
All right. So everyone is going to have to go over to Kick or to Rumble. I'll put those. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, you got to go to Twitter, Kick, or Rumble is where you're going to have to go. So there's all my links. Please go to one of those. It's not my fault. Fox is basically trying to, I don't know, sour grapes because Tucker's going to kick their ass and, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to end these streams right now. Please. We'll give it like 2 minutes, right? Yes, you can stay on Kick. That shouldn't be a problem. Because if worse comes worse and I lose my Kick channel, it's not a big deal. But I think Kick's going to be more lenient with that shit. Same with Rumble. So you could go to Kick or you could go to Rumble, both of which I'm live streaming to right now. You go to either of those places. So No, it's not anything happened. It's that you're not allowed to broadcast the debate. Fox has basically said they're going to go after people for copyright infringement for broadcasting the debate. So a company like Kick and Rumble won't give a shit, but a company like Twitch and YouTube will give a shit. So that's why you got to do that. So I'll stick with you for a couple minutes, and then we'll get over there. I'll just say this: like I don't understand this argument, like the stupid argument about the surrogates, whatever. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I agreed to do. I don't give two shits about this debate. I'll be honest. I really don't. I agreed to do this, so I'm doing it. But as far as I would not be watching this debate, I would be hanging out with my family, and then I would watch Tucker's interview later with Trump. That's what I would have been doing. But it is what it is, so I agreed to do it, so I'll do it. If I could leave one thing with the opening there, how I find it hilarious to listen to the lefties be like, Vivek's dog shit foreign policy, and Christie's going to smack around Trump. That says all you need to know. When they're praising Republican, when these lefties are praising Republican candidates, that says all you need to know. They implicitly know. They know about the Uniparty. They know the old school Republican Party is just the Uniparty. Oh, the dog shit foreign policy of saying we shouldn't be interventionist neocons in Ukraine. We don't want that. We want people that totally agree with the Bush doctrine. That's what we want. The same fucking people. The same people that were marching. Bush lied. People died. Now they're the biggest warmongering sacks of shit in the world. I find it hilarious. I really do. So, all right. Last chance. Head over to Kick. Head over to Rumble. I'm going to end the streams on YouTube and Twitch. Can someone hold back, one of you hold back on YouTube and Twitch, just to make sure when I click these buttons that, well, you don't have to, that it ends the stream. Please, I'll put those links up one more time. Fox News will not allow us to stream this on YouTube. It will not allow us to stream it on Twitch. So please head to Kick, head to Twitter, head to Rumble. So, all right. I'm going to be ending the Twitch and YouTube broadcast. Thank you so much. For Kick and Rumble, I should still be here. So.